Tom Ward, Coin TV. You guys split with them in the regular season. What was the difference between those 4 games and these 4 games?
Man, I don't know. Key word regular. Just get so used to playing 82 games every year. You want to win every night, but you don't put too much stock into what you did in those 82, because once playoffs start, it's a clean slate, and I don't know the difference between the playoffs and regular season. The game gets much tighter. There's more holding, grabbing, refs let a little more go, and the physicality and just, the fatigue toward the end of the season playing that many games wears in.
Second row here on your left.
This is from Thompson, 5 straight time. Anything different than the last 4?
They've been unique in their own ways, but it just felt like one big old season lumped together for the last 5 years, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
You're on your left once again, second row.
Klay, talk.
You're on your left once again, second row.
Klay, talk about Draymond and the way he controls a game. Dame and Myers were up here talking about him a little bit, and just the fact that he can just continue to do it all year after year.
I mean, yep, 18, 14, 14, or yeah, 14, 11. That's a few steals and a couple blocks. It's unbelievable. That's a stat sheet stuffer for you right there, and we're gonna need him to play with this kind of moxie, and it's pretty big, especially starting the series on the road.
On the left in the back, please.
Colin Ward, Henninger, CBSSports.com. Klay, you've had DeMarcus, Kevin, and now Andre out. What does it say about this team that you've been able to put the series away in a sweep, missing those guys?
You got to give credit, obviously, to Steph and Draymond. They set the tone tonight, but our bench has been incredible. I mean, Kevon Looney, double-double, 12 and 14, huge rebounds. Quinn Cook coming in, making it tonight, made a huge impact. So I'm proud of the way everyone played, and our bench really made a huge impact. So I'm proud of the way everyone played, and our bench really showed out this series. They showed that they're professionals and they can impact the game in many ways. So I'm really proud of those guys.
Second row center, please.
Klay, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Damian said that a lot of times people get lost in the shot making of you and of Steph, but underneath that, there's something else going on with you guys that's much more difficult to beat. What is that intangible quality that allows you guys to win the most unlikely games on the road in this situation?
Well, Steph was making shots tonight. Me, missed a couple, missed a few of them, but at the end of the day, it's about just playing hard, getting stops on the defensive end. And we got so many great defenders that kind of get overlooked because of our offensive ability and the scoring that we have on this team. But we're a super team for a reason, or quote-unquote super team, just because we got guys who do it all, like Draymond Green, two-way player, Andre Iguodala, myself, Kevin. And we got athletes and guys who just know how to play the game the right way.
Front row center, please.
Judah Newby, 1029 The Game. Klay, you mentioned earlier this series your personal connection to the city of Portland, being from here, but a little hesitant to express too much affinity given that Portland was the opponent this series. Now that it's over, your connection to Moda Center, formerly the Rose Garden, is there any extra personal significance to clinching a trip to your 5th straight finals in this building?
Absolutely. Just being able to do it in front of my family, it's an amazing feeling. And on top of that, do it in a place where I grew up watching my favorite players play. It's really a dream come true, and I'm just trying to soak it all in right now before it's over, because I got some really special memories in this building, and I'm just thankful to be in this position, because not a lot of guys get to go to 1 finals, and let alone 5 straight. So I really can't believe it, and I can't wait to get started again.
This is one more question. Now you have 10 days to get rest, and I think 9 days to get rest. Are you going to get more like natural sounds or meditate even more?
Yeah. Get outside. Hopefully it's good weather in the Bay finally, and just enjoy the downtime, because the NBA Finals, having experience with it, is such an emotional roller coaster that it's nice to get away from the game a little bit before it starts, because emotions run high and it takes a lot out of you.
Thank you.
No problem. That was easy.
Some time off for Klay and some unwanted time off after a great season and postseason for CJ McCollum.
Over on the left, go.
CJ, Tom Ward, Coin TV. Now that you've had a few minutes after this game, can you just give us a little bit of a look inside what the team feels after coming off a season where, you know, a lot of people, like Chief said in the locker room, a lot of people didn't expect you to even make the playoffs, and he's like, what are you guys talking about?
It was an interesting year, to say the least. Obviously, we went through a lot. With Mr. Allen passing away before the season started. Our team masseuse, Annie, gets diagnosed with cancer before the season starts, and then Nurk goes down with a gruesome injury. Our video coordinator gets in us, let alone, you know, get out the first round. So I think that, you know, overall, I think we improved this year as a team. Obviously, there was some growth internally. Our organization did a good job of acquiring some key assets for us to continue to evolve and get better, you know, with some of the injuries we had. Season didn't end the way we wanted it to, you know, getting swept, you know, having 17-plus point leads in the third quarter in, 3 consecutive games, basically. Have to do a better job of finishing games, but overall, we lost to a team a lot of teams have been losing to, and we have to figure out ways to get over the hump.
In the back on the left.
Colin Ward, Henninger, CBSSports.com. CJ, you've lost to these guys in the playoffs a few times over the past few years. Does anything stand out to you as different about this particular Warriors team?
A lot of the same. Their role players are stars in their role. They don't take shots that they're not supposed to take. They do a great job of getting their best players open. They're constantly looking and screening for Steph and Klay. I think that they've, you know, mastered how to manipulate the pick and roll once Steph gets it out with the trap. Draymond's done a great job, you know, the last 7-8 years of figuring out when to drive and attack versus when to hit the corner or throw the lob. I think that was the difference in the game. Draymond made a lot of big plays. Their role players, Looney stepped up. Cook hit some big shots for them overall, but I think that the biggest thing is that their championship pedigree. You know, figuring out ways to, you know, always be in games. Obviously, they shoot so many three-pointers and make a lot of three-pointers, so they're always in the game. But you can always, you know, come back at times as well. But overall, they're a really good team. There's a reason why, you know, they've won so many games.
Front row center.
Judah Newby, Sports Radio 1029 The Game. CJ, Dame was up here and talking about detail being a key factor in the Warriors' game plan in this series and in the playoffs in general. Would you resonate with that same attitude as well, that the level of detail has just risen to a different level in the postseason?
Yeah, they're a smart team. You know, defensively, you know, rarely do you get, you know, situations where you're on an island and able to kind of attack by yourself. They're always loading up boxes and elbows. Draymond did a great job of helping throughout the series. You know, before Iggy went down, he was another guy who was, you know, active but also being in help. They force other guys to beat you, as you've seen tonight. You know, Myers had a great game, but part of their game plan is to get you to get rid of the ball and put it in other guys' hands and allow them to make decisions. And I think, you know, throughout the series we got better progressively at it, but ultimately that's what makes them a great team. They leave certain players open and hope they can beat you.
Thank you, CJ.
There is one more still to go, and an important one. We'll hear from Steph Curry when we continue here on Game Time.